Okay, so I have spoken to some guys at the back and we decided, you know what, it's not going to be very fun having two people come up and play our game. We're gonna get all of you guys involved in our game. So let me tell you what our hashtag Beyond Beauty challenge is. We're going to challenge all the tables, and the tables are going to compete against each other. You ladies have to work together as a team, and we are going to try and build the highest tower. And you might be thinking, okay, we're building a highest tower, what are we building with? Well, you see these lovely marshmallows and these lovely toothpicks. We're going to be building them with those. Each table is going to have 60 seconds to try and build the highest tower using these. So we're getting our marshmallows put onto our tables, and we're going to get some toothpicks put to our tables as well. Once I do the countdown, we're going to have 60 seconds on the clock. That's right, only 1 minute to try and build the highest tower. Work together as a team, as women, to build the highest tower. And so, speak together, strategize, see what is the best technique, what is the best way in order to do this. And in a few seconds, we're going to get started. I see we're getting very excited. Some ladies have started building already. No building yet. We need to do a countdown. 60 seconds on the clock. Okay, does all my teams have marshmallows and toothpicks? Can I get a yes or a thumbs up from all of my tables? Do we have toothpicks? No? You need toothpicks? Okay, we've got one toothpicks coming to our table on this side. There we go. We've all got toothpicks. Okay, ladies, we haven't started yet. We're waiting for our countdown. Okay, perfect. Let's go through the rules one more time. We're going to have to work together as a team to build the tallest tower. Now, you might be thinking, what are we going to be using? We're going to be using the toothpicks and marshmallows in front of you, and you will only have 60 seconds on the clock. That's right, 1 minute to build the tallest tower, and the team will receive, your favorite. I can't give you diamonds, but I can give you chocolates. So, DJ, are you ready? DJ, our DJ is ready to play some fun music for us, and I am ready with my timer. Teams, are you ready? Give me a yes. Oh, we can do better than that, ladies. Give me a yes. Okay, let's count down all together, everybody. And 3, 2, 1, let's build a tower. Focus at this table. These girls are sweating. They're so focused. I'm loving it. This team looks like they're going with a strategy of everybody is doing a part and then they're gonna come together to make their tower. Ladies, we have 30 seconds left. 30 seconds. Let's make sure that everybody is getting involved. The tallest tower, remember ladies, the tallest, it needs to be high. It needs to be able to stand. Oh, these ladies are working together. I'm loving it. Okay, ladies, remember, we are racing against the clock. Oh, these ladies look like they've got a plan. They look like they've got a strategy. Is it coming together? Okay, ladies, we have 20 seconds left on the clock. Keep on going, keep on going. Very focused over here. I've got a smile happening here, but everybody is super focused. These ladies look like they're architects. I'm seeing a work of art happening here. Beautiful and strong. Are they working on foundation? Are they working on the small marshmallows, the big ones? What is their strategy? All I know is that everybody is working together. I'm loving it. You know what? You ladies are doing such a good job. I'm going to add another 30 seconds to the timer just because I can see you ladies are so into it. We are building our tower of marshmallows. These ladies are working together. It's beautiful to see. And here they go. Wow, you guys are all coming together. I'm loving it. I'm seeing some marshmallows going missing. I hope we're not snacking on them. Are you ladies snacking on the marshmallows? The tallest one. We need tall. But remember, a strong foundation is always key. Okay, ladies, 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left on the clock. Can we build the tall? I'm looking for the Burj Khalifa of marshmallow towers. That's what I'm looking for at the moment. Can you make the tallest tower of marshmallows? We know that Dubai and Abu Dhabi have such amazing things, but let's see if we can get the tallest one here today, right at Burjeel Reem. We're looking for a beyond beauty marshmallow tower. We're changing strategy over here. We're changing strategy. We're trying to get the tallest tower, the Burj Khalifa of marshmallow towers. That's what we're trying to get here today. I'm seeing a lot of work, a lot of teamwork happening here. No one's gotten pricked yet by the toothpicks. That's good. Everyone's still smiling. Our team here is like, if I can hold it, then it will be the tallest. We have got an architect over here. This is, do they add more? Do they leave it? What do you think? You want to leave it? You want to keep adding? We're thinking we're going to leave it like that. Okay, we're trying to add one more. Remember, the tallest. Okay, we're going to be counting down very soon because we have 10 seconds left on the clock. We have 10 seconds left on the clock to see who is the fastest. Ladies, can everybody count down with me from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is time. As the chefs say, hands up, step away from the plate, step away from the marshmallows. My ladies seem so confident over here. They're like, yeah, we're done. We're done with time to spare. We're just waiting for our chocolate prize now. These ladies look good. These ladies still have their hands on the marshmallows. And we need to see who has built the tallest structure, starting with our table over here. Wow, how was that?
Very challenging.
Did you girls work together?
Yeah, we did.
Yours almost looks like a piece of art. It looks like an architectural structure. You're inspiring new designs, right? Burjeel Reem really like gets the creative juices flowing, right? I'm loving it. Okay, this is definitely going to be in the runnings. Okay, ladies, we're going to have to ask you to step away from the marshmallows. There we go. Is it standing? She's working. How was that? It was fun? Was it tough? But the marshmallows are soft. I could see you guys really went for the foundation strategy in this one. Okay, here we go. Let's move on to our next one. We've got the Leaning Tower of Marshmallows over here. Not quite the Burj Khalifa of marshmallows, but you ladies look like you had a strategy of everybody do their own thing and then come together, which I really liked. How was it?
It was difficult.
It was
Too many cooks spoil the marshmallow.
I mean, you didn't think that toothpicks and marshmallows would create such a challenge, right? How was it from your side?
Oh, it was difficult, interesting to say.
I think I saw a few marshmallows disappear, right? All we need is a campfire. Okay. Ladies, oh wow. Okay, we've got quite an intricate design. See, I feel yours does a little bit of this, then this. Which, I mean, A for effort. It's very creative. I like what I see. What was your inspiration?
We're trying to make the Burjeel tower, but we need more marshmallows.
Oh, you need more. It looks like the first floor of the Burj. Very beautiful and long, not very tall. Well done, ladies. You look like you did a great job. And let's see our marshmallow tower. Now, you guys were my dark horse in the competition. You ladies all look very calm and cool, but I knew that once the chocolate was there and the competition was on, you ladies would kick into gear. How was it?
It was nice. We used how to put the base.
Now, the water bottle that just happens to be standing next to the marshmallows, does it have anything to do? No! It was just there in case the marshmallows get thirsty, you know? Just, yeah. And did you have fun working as a team?
A lot. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to bring up my judge to judge which is the tallest marshmallow. We're going to get her up right now. Would you like to come join us to judge our marshmallow? My special guest, my judge. I need you to have a look and judge which of our marshmallow towers is our winner for today. Our lady's adding a few more marshmallows here. Our judge's decision is final. We've got some bribery happening over here. I think she's offering the judge chocolates. We've got a really good foundation. This one is the architecture is great on this one. Okay, judge, what is our final decision? Oh, we've got one more. Oh my goodness, we've got one more. And you know, you might actually be the dark horse of the competition. Is this the... Now you're saying this is the best one. Is it because you had something to do with helping?
I didn't touch it. No, I didn't see anything. But I think this is the biggest one.
But we think this is the best one. What was the inspiration behind this one?
Nothing.
Oh, wait. What is the inspiration?
Dancing marshmallows.
Is that because it keeps moving in the wind? It was designed like that, right? It's supposed to do that. It's dancing. Now, I saw a few marshmallows go missing during the challenge. Was that, did you need a snack during the challenge?
A bit.
Maybe. Okay, Judge, you've seen all of our marshmallow towers. We're ready to hand out our prize. Which table is our winner?
I love this arrangement.
So I think with height and with architectural design, our table over here, they were sweating, they were working. It was the hardest, softest marshmallow they've ever had to work with. Ladies, please give it up for our awesome table. I've got your chocolate somewhere up there, right over there. Here we go. We're going to get our awesome photographer. Let's get all of our 6 chocolates over to this table. Here we go, ladies. Congratulations. Well done. Our beautiful leader of our workshop is helping us, getting you guys high on sugar before she has to try and teach you how to take pictures. Okay, are we ready to go? Are we good? Okay, on that note, let me please introduce our beautiful host for our interactive workshop. She's going to be teaching us how to take pictures on our phone. Well, creative pictures, pictures that are going to help us be more Instagrammable, help us become influencers. I want my followers to go up after this workshop. I want
It is on.
I want it to go skyrocketing.
it
So
is on.
please welcome to the stage our
Oh,
beautiful
yes.
host for our interactive workshop as she joins us.
Hello, lovely ladies. Are you able to hear me? Am I audible enough for people at the back? Are you part as well? Would you like to come in a little bit closer? Just fill in the empty seats that you see on the tables, okay? Because I want this as personal and as interactive as possible. And the ladies next to you, sitting to your right or your left, is going to be your best friend for the next hour, okay? So they're going to be taking photos of each other, and you're going to learn this as we go. So thank you so much. It's lovely to see a full house tonight. Yes? Did you have fun? Did you have your sugar rush at the moment? Because I expect you to be on your photo game, your A game right now, okay? Like, I expect you to come in and take a photo of yourself here. Is that something that you can do with all the sugar rush that you have at the moment? So please feel free to interact back with me, to ask questions when you have them along the way, and also please do not be shy, okay? The idea of taking photographs is to be confident in front of the photo and behind the photo as well, all right? So today's session is basically talking about how to take experimental, more or less creative phone portraits. So we're going to use something as minimal as using your own camera phone. Like now these days we actually have phones that have really, really good cameras at this moment, right? So can I have a hand of raise? Those of you who have a phone with a camera right now, because it's highly impossible that you won't be able to have. Are you serious? Are they ladies? You don't have a phone with a camera? Open up those purses. I want to see those phones. Can you raise them up so I know that you have a phone with a camera on it? Brilliant. Who has two? Who's that? That's great. So one for yourself and one for someone else, right? Great, that is good. So again, another hands up of those of you who are iPhones here, iPhone users. Brilliant, so I could see that. Okay, so there's a good number of iPhone users. And Android users, it is Samsung, Huawei, everything, Oppo. Sorry, can I see them again? The Android users? Okay, great. Do you have like both Android and iPhone? I hope they're two different numbers as well. So, before we get cracking on, I actually want to introduce who I am and what made me be the photographer that I am today for you lovely ladies. So, I am a licensed, self-taught hair and makeup artist that does branding consultancy for content creation on social media. Did you grasp that? Was that too long of a title? Because I know I'm one of those many people that are a Jane of all trades, but when it comes to the content creation industry, you have to be a Jane of all trades. So I'm actually a licensed freelancer with 2454. I have worked in the corporate world for about 6 years, up until I decided to jump ship from a 9-to-5 job to a 24/7 job. So I work 24 hours, 7 days a week, and people ask me exactly when my off is. So here I am, lovely ladies, taking an off day for you and still being able to exemplify this 100% energy to show you what it is today. So apart from what I actually do, which is indulging into the fashion, into the portrait, into the entertainment industries, I take a lot of portrait shots. And I do a lot of weddings as well, both local and expat weddings, so you can clearly see that. And apart from that, I engage in a lot of community initiatives. Initiatives which empower women and men, of course, but the highest demographic that I've had so far is actually women. So I help them empower, be the face of their business by being the brand of their business portraits. So if in case you lovely ladies want to take a beautiful business portrait or a brand portrait, anything very formal or more of a lifestyle approach, as you can see, It could be either for your social media, your Instagram, your Facebook, even your LinkedIn. I'm not the kind of person that would take your passport photo and stick it up there. No, we're straying away from anything that's very, very strict. If you do want a brand portrait that shows the authentic you, the fun you, you know, the woman or the person that you are, that this defines the job that you have or the business that you have, I'm your girl right here. All right? So, our next shot is, what do I usually do when I prepare for a shoot? So, a lot of these things I have to consider into factor that I'm not just here to take a camera and just shoot. No. For example, we have our lovely influencer sitting in front of her. If she asks me to take a shoot or a photo shoot for her, we have to go through a creative process. And in this case, I call it the kitchen sink. So how to deconstruct this creative process is find out who I'm working with. Who is the model? So if I find out that the model is an influencer or a friend or a family member, that is going to be your subject or your model. Find out inspirations. What is that person's culture, that person's style? What are they going to be wearing? Map out a mood board, you know? I find these inspirations either on Pinterest, photos that I like, that I've seen on Instagram, on Facebook. You know, you might actually find those photos, go like, oh, I like that photo. Let me try to recreate it. So these are inspirations for you. So I put that out as a mood board and I map out that flow. Apart from that, I would be working with props, like such as what's your hair gonna be? What's the outfit gonna look like? What are the colors, especially, that she's gonna be wearing? What are the shoes? All of these little details, like is she gonna wear a scarf? Is she gonna wear sunglasses or hat? All of these come under working with props. So again, what do you want to include in a photo that kind of imbibes you, or the subject, or the model, correct? And then, of course, Abu Dhabi is such a beautiful, beautiful place. We do have lovely locations. Unfortunately, some of them do require permits if you do want to take photos, but this is why we are here to use a phone, because we don't really need a lot of permits with using a camera, a phone camera, right? So we've got lovely locations that we can scout out and then figure out what is the best time of the day to shoot. Is it early in the morning? Is it a golden hour? Is it at night or right slightly before sunset? So all of these take into factor of how or what time of the day that you'd be using to shoot. And then of course, figure out what your gear setup. In my case, it could be a camera or it could be a phone. In your case, it'll ideally be both, or it depends if you're very professional enough, you can take your camera out. If not, use your phone. Like I said, phones these days are so high tech right now that they've equipped a possible full professional camera into one, right? So there is no excuse that you will take a bad photo at this point. It's all about learning how to take a really good portrait. And then, of course, in the end, if you're that kind of person who likes to edit your photos, throw in a filter, brighten up the photo, we'd also be just going through briefly over that. But the idea is to how to take better photos if you are the person behind the camera or in front of the camera, okay? So this is just a quick run through of how I would go through my process. So like I said, I'd find out who the model is, work out. She's a friend of mine who I thought, you know what, let me try to come up with a fairy-based shoot, you know? A lot of people these days want to come up with something quite creative, and when I saw her, she was just like, I feel like you're a fairy or a pixie. I want to make that happen. You are just as normal as any other woman out here. I could possibly create a shoot around you. So then I sent her across what a mood board is like. All of these inspirations about what Coachella outfits look like, where the outfits could be bought, either it could be Namshi, Shein, Forever 21, anything. Just drop them into a mood board, find out what the color scheme is. So I wanted it more to be in the cooler side and the warmer side. So I wanted to create two different kinds of photos. So what are my inspirations? What is that I want to be able to imbibe in this entire photo? So I've sent her across photos that had like glitter on her face as the kind of makeup or the kind of dress that she should pick out for. And then of course, considering the kind of props that I'd have to make. So I came up with, so I'm a very hands-on photographer, so I'd have to do hair, makeup, and props. I'd try to create an entire scene or a concept or design a concept right around it. And this was me just trying to create a fairy crown, something that would fit into that theme. And then, of course, I went to scout out for locations. Would you have noticed where any of these locations are if I placed them out on the board? Would you have figured out where they are in Abu Dhabi? Or have you never seen it? Anyone? Oh, wait, there's someone in the back. Okay. Anyone? Do you not know where this location is? Do you? Can you tell me where it could be? Sorry? Sorry, say that again. Near the Ritz-Carlton, you said. No, okay. So this is somewhere where Anantara is, and this is somewhere where Al Ghurm is. So not many people know these places exist. Like, I personally went to Al Ghurm and figured out there was a magical forest in Abu Dhabi. Who would have thought that? Like, not many people go and venture out. This is what happens if you take the chance and the time to walk on foot and see all of these beautiful places. So I thought, you know what, I'm given 2 locations. I think the Al Ghurm would kind of suit where I'm going for. So at that time, I had 2 gears, which was basically a professional camera and a phone. I just needed a reflector. A reflector is basically something that you reflect light back into the face. That's as simple as it can get. So I just want to clearly show you that you've seen this location here, which is the Al Ghurm. This is how it looks like. Would you have imagined a place like this exists in Abu Dhabi? Would you? Have you ever come across this place in Abu Dhabi? I'm pretty sure you'd seen the malls more often than you would ever see a forest. Great? Great. So this is how it looks like based on the phone, and this is how I would take it using the camera phone. Do you see? So I just wanted to show you the difference of how people usually take their phones based on the location and how to creatively take your photo. So another location spot, again, in the very same area, is just like having a creative eye, at least making sure that you use anything and everything around you as a foreground, as a background, anything that can help compose that image. So that's another spot that's by the trees. And if you can have that vision or that creative eye to take a really good photo, or you can see through it, you can definitely take it with your camera phone as well. Just saying, another example of using your phone into taking creative shots. Okay, so this is how it looks like if you were to take a photo in the middle of the forest, and that's how the output would look like. Does that make sense? Ladies, any questions so far? Want to know where the location is? Because currently that's like a secret location now, considering that everyone's trying to repopulate that place after it has been renovated. So here is a next slide to show you a difference of how you can take it with a phone camera and with your actual DSLR camera at this point. A lot of people won't believe that the left one is taken with your phone because it would always seem that it was taken with a camera. That's how good the phones are these days to create or kind of mimic that professionalism in it and create that depth of field that it would actually seem that you've taken a camera, you've taken this photo with a professional camera. In this case, it's just taken with the iPhone XS at that time. And now iPhones these days, with at least the 13 Pro, it looks absolutely awesome, absolutely. You can't even tell the difference. Another shot of it with the phone versus the camera. And you can see there's 2 different concepts that I've tried to create and integrate into that shoot. Was basically, one is more of a warmer fairy, and one is more of a cooler fairy, more mermaidy base, something that I'd like to have with a shell crown, her hair is out. So all of these are little bits of concept that I've tried to put together and try to create a shoot around it. Okay? And I just wanted to quickly show you how the video looks like, if I can really play it here, of how the location looks like. And it's not playing. I'm sorry. We might have to skip these 2 because, you know, technology these days could be very complicated. And it was just basically a video showing you what the location looks like and how I took it with the phone as well. So now here is what we are down to. So what are the shooting tips? If you want to learn how to take better photos, or at least coach your Instagram husband, your Instagram partner, your family member on how to take better portraits, here are a few shooting tips. So ladies, I'd like you to take your phones out, okay? And I want to be able to at least go through these process or these tips and see if you are aware of these things that are available in your phone that you're able to create content out with, okay? So everyone, please take the time to pull out your phone ready, okay? Open up the camera app, and let's start out with the first one. Do you know that you can make your photos brighter and darker in your camera app? Do you know that? So this is what you call experimenting with exposure, experimenting with the intensity of light, okay? So if in most iPhones, you can just click that little square button that it takes, that focus button, you hold on to it so that it locks the focus, and then you swipe up and down to increase the intensity of light and to decrease the intensity of light, okay? So that's what exposure is about. Were you able to do that, ladies? No? How is that? You have both phones. You have both phones, and it is. So try it out. Try probably focusing on the person near you, okay? So like I said, try to interact with each other. Have the person next to you. You're going to be working in pairs for this. Look at the next person, focus it on the next person, and try to actually move your exposure up and down, okay? Are you able to do that? So the idea is that overexposure is having a lot of light into the photos. You would want to calm that down. You would want to decrease that exposure because it is easier to brighten a photo that is darker than saving a photo that has lost all of the details because of how bright it is, all right? So that's the idea of keeping it mid-exposure, or at least a little bit darker than usual, so when you edit or when you throw a filter on it, it doesn't look like you're an extreme version of a ghost, okay? Have you tried it, ladies? I can't hear you. I do want to have like this sort of interactions. I need you to say yes. I need you to say that is good. I understood what exposure is. I understood how to move the dial of how light works in your phone, all right? So we are given all of this light inside, indoors, in this beautiful hospital. And how can you try to adjust that lighting? If you want to add more light, if you want to decrease the light, that little guide or that focus dial is there to help you with it, okay? Again, cameras have made it so much easier to understand what focus is. And of course, how to make a photo lighter and brighter. So now, ladies, have you heard of the grid in your photos? The grid, yes. Have you heard of the grid in your photos? If that's something that you cannot see currently on your camera app, then by all means, follow the instructions that you can see on the TV by turning on the grid on the settings area, okay? That is if your camera does not automatically open up a grid, okay? The purpose of a grid is to kind of frame your photo really, really nicely, okay? I'm putting it in the best and easiest layman terms to explain it, that the grid is going to help you for the next slide that I'm talking about, which is the rule of thirds composition. All right, did anyone open up and just, you know, it'd be great if you can show me up your phone so I can see the grids from here, even though I'm like half blind from a distance. Do you see the grids? That's great. That's great. That is great that you opened up ISA. So you go into the settings, into your camera options, and you turn on the grid. That is where it is, okay? So it is your camera settings under your general app, and you turn on the grid. Did you lovely ladies in this table open up the grid, right? All right, that's good. All of you open up the grid. It's in your iPhone. Under general, if you go into general, go to settings, go to camera. Under camera, you open up and you open up the grid. You toggle with the on button with the grid. Ladies in this table, figure, that's great. Okay, so now that you have your grid open, all right, do you know what is the rule of third composition called? Have you ever heard of that? I know it's a very technical term, but I'll make it as easy as possible. What is a rule of third is you either flush someone into the left or the right of the photo, okay? That means if you see this, this is one, two, and third of a photo. If you place a person in either sections of this, it is called a rule of third. That means you are not placing someone bang on center, but rather either towards the extreme left or to the extreme right. So I'll give you a very good photo example for this. As you can see, this is following the rule of third composition. You are giving more breathing space to see what the beauty of the location is. You know, so I'm probably left flushing this person towards the right. This one is towards the bottom, and this one is towards the right again, giving you that breathing area. So it's something that you can slap on a text if you want to post something online, or just in general to admire the entirety of the photo. That's what the rule of third is. So if you were to practice that, I would like you to try this out right now, okay? I want you to be able to open up your grid, all right, and take the photo of the person that's next or across you, because you do need that distance, okay? You do need that distance, and create the rule of third using what we've just discussed. Oh, you're taking me as an example. That's nice. So that's it. You can either take me as an example as your subject, which I believe everyone is doing that at the moment. That's crazy. Okay, that's great. That's it. So I see it that you've flushed it towards the right, right? That's great. So that is how the rule of thirds is. You are giving more breathing space to either your left or your right, okay? Or anything that kind of emphasizes on the background, and keeping your subject in either one of the rule of thirds, okay? So it's either on the side, the top, the bottom, or like the left and right. So great, now you ladies know what the rule of thirds are, right? So now if you want to actually create photos and you want to appreciate the background more creatively, by all means, use the rule of thirds. This is how you can only imagine yourself in this position by just doing this. So if you were to give your Instagram husband, your Instagram partner, or a family member, tell them, look at the grid, place me in this point of the grid. Place me in that intersection of that square, you know? So it's easier to talk to them than tell them or coach them, where of the rule of thirds would you want to be placed in that photo? All right? So there's another one where if you were taking a landscape photo, this is called the rule of third as well, where I've placed the person towards the right, and as you can see, I've used all of this as breathing space. All right? So that's how you try to create your next photo. Ladies, you're gonna be tested on this, by the way. After this, I wanna be able to see you take pop-in photos of it, of each person that you're probably gonna be in friends with. So make friends right now, be best friends with people in the table, and I'd like to see that happen. So the next one is try as much as possible to clear separation off of the background. Have you heard using the portrait mode? Right? Have you all ladies heard the portrait mode? I'm pretty sure in Android as well, they've also got a portrait or a natural light mode, right? Or a beauty mode or something like that, that kind of separates you from the background. There's nothing wrong with staying against the background that, of a very unique place or a unique background that you come across. That's fine. But the idea is if you want to start creating photos of just your face or just your portraits, try to stay away, a few feet away from the background. Pop up that portrait mode or that beauty mode that blurs out the background and gives you a focus of just your face. So as you can see, this is shot on a rule third and against a background of just flowers or weeds right there. And using the portrait mode, everything else behind you is all blurred out. So it gives you that depth of field, you know? That idea of that it was taken with a professional camera, but it's not. So that's the reason why when you see these photos, all the photos, the backgrounds is kind of blurred, it gives you that depth of field. So that's as easy as what portrait mode is in terms to explain it, right? So are you able to all pop out a portrait mode on your phone?
I've actually got a question about
Sure.
portrait mode. I've tried it and it hasn't really worked because it keeps on telling me something about 2 meters.
Right.
I'm either too close or I'm too far.
So you
or-
have to give it so much of distance to be able to create that sort of depth of field. Otherwise, you merge with the background. The idea is to separate yourself from the camera and from yourself from the background.
Oh, so
Right.
you need space from the front
And
and,
space
from the back. Okay.
So if you're either too close to the background, you kind of merge with the background. That's why there's a reason called separating yourself from the background.
And that allows me to be in focus
Correct.
and the background to be blurry and for the photo to look professional.
Exactly. So,
We've
ladies,
learned
if you would
something.
like to try your portrait mode, I believe that you do require distance. So this is where, again, you would have to take the photos of the person that's opposite you, creating at least 1 meter worth of a distance, and showing off that portrait mode. Does that work for you, ladies?
Ooh,
I
I'm
can't hear
seeing-
you. All I'm seeing is the hands up. Yes or no? Yes?
Elaine, I'm seeing some really beautiful photos here.
Do you have a question and someone in the back? Oh, yes.
Who put their hand
Tuesday. It's someone at the. I wish I could see your name from here. Can you pop up your name so I know that it is?
up? Here we go. I'm on my way to you. I'm on. Oh, it's our dancing marshmallow tower.
Oh,
We are not able to find in this phone. Can you just tell us
sorry.
the
Could you
portrait
s-
mode?
You're unable to
We're
find.
unable. We've got a Samsung, and we're just unable to find portrait mode. Now I'm an Apple girl, so I don't know anything.
Exactly. So if you want to use it on your iPhone, then you probably pop it out. Maybe this is an older version of Samsung that does not have a beauty or a portrait mode installed into it. So this must be ages ago. We're talking about eons at this point. Like this is probably This probably might have been 2020 or 2021, and that's considered already like 10 years down the line worth of technology. Yeah. So if you were to pop up your portrait mode, that would be really great. Can I see how it is? Oh, that's great. You lovely ladies are knowing how to actually use subjects on your table to create that. Sorry, I can't see that. You'd have to pop out the photo.
Elaine,
right
I'm
there.
seeing
Okay,
beautiful portrait
that's-
photos of you.
That is how you take a portrait mode. Do you see that? The person is in focus and the background is more slightly.
I'm
Oh,
seeing
look at
lots
that.
of beautiful
That's
photos
lovely.
of you, actually.
Is
There's
it-
lots of photos
lo-
of you looking
Ladies,
stunning
if you have
on
photos
everyone's
of me,
phone.
please send them across to me. This is the easiest way to get photos, exactly. Do you see how it works now? That is what portrait mode is. Perfect. That is how it is. Did you see that she's taking your photo? Ladies, feel free. Feel free to share it. This is what I want to see. Happy smiles on each and everyone's faces because you're taking each other's photo. Do you know that? Because you'll be sooner enough exchanging numbers to get those photos. And what I'm trying my best is to actually have you learn how to take these photos so that you can apply them on everyday basis or teach them to someone who wants to take your photo. Okay? So again, have the person in focus. That's what the portrait mode is. And it blurs out the background automatically. There is no rocket science into it. All you need to do is just focus the person. And of course, you know how to change up the exposure, correct? On a portrait mode, we just learned that a few seconds ago. So if anything, use the portrait mode to enhance that photo. Oh, sorry, pop out that photo there. So the next shot is when you are taking photos, you should always keep shooting, okay? It's not like the kind of shot that you go like, okay, smile, 1, 2, 3, smile, and then you just get one shot. No, you gotta keep clicking because you never know which photo in that streak would be the most bombing photo ever. It would be really, really good. So you might take it in the most natural, candid moment, someone's smiling that you missed out on. That's the reason why you have to just keep clicking photos. And that's also a reason why the storage in my phone camera has also gone over limits, okay? So if you were that kind of person, if you were to take a photo of your cat, you never know. It's just as simple as taking a photo of your pet. You're gonna be taking multiple photos because you never know when your cat's gonna do something really, really cute, right? The same thing goes with humans. So you have to keep taking photos because candids are the best and you would never know when you would end up with a really, really good photo, okay? Now, have you ever experimented with shooting in different angles? Okay? The cameras these days in phones, they are equipped and they're lighter. If you were to hold any of the videographer's cameras, as you can see, or the photographer's cameras, you would know how heavy it is right now, okay? And they would break their back to try to get a shot, of me, of awesome me right now, okay? As you can see. But the reason being that phones are so light right now, it does not give you an excuse to be lazy into taking sort of angles. Be creative. Take it from down the shot, you know? Take it from on top. Take it from the side, you know? Don't try to focus on just purely eye level view, right? That's what everyone does these days. So how do you creatively take photos is basically taking the photos from all the way down. So feel free to crouch down. You lovely ladies are all probably wearing pants at this moment, right? So there's no excuse, crouch down. Take photos from a lower level, take photos from a higher level. You know, stand up on something a little bit higher and then take a photo so it makes you look longer and thinner and leaner, you know? So that's the idea of trying to experiment with angles, okay? Now, can you ladies kindly all stand up, okay? We'll put this to test, okay? If you were to take photos, now I will give you a moment after this presentation on how to take photos, and I want you to apply any of the shooting tips that you've learned so far, and then send that across to me, and we will review the shots together, okay? So the idea is to take photos of the person that's across you, okay? Because I can see that if you were to take the person that's right next to you, it might be too close. All right, so learn your names right now. This is a good opportunity to learn their names. And take photos of that person, okay? Try a different angle. Try a different angle other than eye level, okay? In the iPhones or in Samsungs right now, you have a choice to choose between different lenses. You have a choice to choose a wider lens, a shorter lens, or even a more narrow lens at this point. So if you can do that right now, you can try to take photos with your phone. So I would give you a minute or two, ladies. Figure out which ladies that you would like to take a photo of, but creatively use it. Try to avoid eye level. So if in case you want to have a person, make the person pose and take it at a higher angle, or take it at a lower angle. Anything, you know? You can just try it just for sake of giving it a try. We are going to go through more shooting tips so we can apply all of this. That's great. Now I'm from the subject of models and their and also for you to want to take a lovely angle, crouch down, take a lovely long angle and see with this. Even it doesn't necessarily have to be next to you. I know I haven't seen this table yet, or the last two tables here yet, and what your photos are. But I will do so during the panel discussions or after the panel discussion. Yes, yes, they work it. Take it from all the different angles. Make them look thinner and leaner. Yes. That is how you take photos. Congratulate yourself on that. Yay! That's really, really good. Okay, like I said, we're not focusing on posing here. We're focusing on angles. Because the next slide is we're going to be focusing on posing. Okay? So it is evident that with straighter lines that are more perceived as masculine, the S lines or S curved shapes are seen more feminine. So if ever you were to pose, you are not going to pose like this. We're not posing for a CV photo or a military photo like that. That looks very masculine. We're straight. Men can pull that off. Right now, you men can go into feminine that, you know? But if it's for something that is a female-based shot, we always have to give it some sort of curve. So even a simple hand raise can create that kind of body curve. That's what we're looking for. That creates femininity in photo, and that's the reason why we use it a lot in terms of photo. When people say pose, you're not gonna pose like this, right? I mean, not unless it was gonna be like a badass photo where you're gonna be posing like this, but no. To try and create it more feminine, we are looking into more S-curves. How would you do it when you're sitting? You're not gonna sit like this and pose for a photo, right? This is more of a praying or a sitting version of posing a photo. You are gonna, if you wanna add in a little bit more femininity in when you're curving, you have to move, give it that 3/4 angle, create the curves of your body, make your best assets of your body pop out. That is what is creating a good, really feminine photo. So if you were sitting, you're not gonna say sit, smile, no. Immediately your head is gonna go and give you the best portrait or the best side of you, right? When someone tells you, okay, take my photo. Are you gonna sit straight? No. You're immediately gonna go to the best side of your body or your face, and you're gonna maybe pop that hand out and pop whatever best asset that you have front and back, and then create the photo, correct or not, right? Yes, exactly, and you, how you were sitting. We're not gonna sit all the way straight. There's even an opportunity where you're gonna fold up your legs, have your hands over. All of this is that needs to create that S-curve, that femininity in that photo. Another good tip, actually, is to add motion, okay? Not just necessarily with your hair or the wind that helps it create that motion. You could even do it with a simple slide of your dress. That's just creating motion. Or you just being able to walk forward. So I'm pretty sure you do this a lot in terms of fashioning, yeah, exactly, in terms of with fashion and outfits. You would immediately mimic a walking pose and take the photo, right? It's not like you're here, okay, this is my outfit, this is the photo you're gonna take. No, you either pop up your hand, you do a complete motion, you lift up the skirt, you do what, or you lift up your hair, you flip it up. That is all adding motion to the photos. That creates depth, that creates curiosity in the photo, that makes the photo interesting, okay? We're looking to keep the photo interesting and not boring. Okay, ladies, so now we're getting to the second step. And now for the last couple of slides is, I would ideally suggest you ladies to get together, and when you do, learn how to direct instead of just expecting them to pose. Okay, I deal with a lot of ladies when it comes to photography who is not confident in front of the camera, who does not know how to pose in front of the camera. I can't just go and say, all right, smile, 1, 2, 3, click. And then the photo that she sees is just like any other normal day photo. She came to me to create a different photo, a different side of herself. So this is where directing comes into place. You need to direct the person that you're taking the photo, or at least coach that person who's gonna be taking your photo. All right, tell me what to do, right? I'm pretty sure that if you give the phone and they tell you, okay, how are you gonna take my photo? Tell me what to do, I don't know what to do. Should I put my hand in front? Should I flail my skirt around? Should I put my legs across? All of that, direct and not just pose, because you can't just assume that automatically everyone is a model. No, right? I mean, are you all ladies a model? At this point, do you know the basics of posing at least? Right? So exactly. So direct and pose. So in this case, This is what I meant by directing posing. If someone asks you to take a photo, all right, smile, put your hands behind. What are you doing? You're basically losing arms, your best asset or something. It's not flattering enough. So in this case, you probably take a photo that's on the ground level. Again, try to stray away anything from eye level, come up with creative angles, and you take it from the ground level, right? Even if it was standing here, all right, smile. That's not as creative. I'll probably post this up and go smile. That's how it is. Always create that motion, create that S-curve in you. Bring out that femininity in that photo. Same goes with this. Popping a hand out, creating negative space away from your body, especially with women that are slightly on the chubbier side or the heavier side. It is not flattering for them to be fully front-facing to the camera. They need that curve, they need that boost of confidence. So all you have to do is slightly turn 3/4, pop that angle, pop that hand out so it creates that negative space and make you look leaner or slimmer, or at least focuses on the best assets of your body. All right? So that's what it is. You're not just standing something very masculine or trying to create a very rigid pose. We want it. So we want it as much as possible to create that negative space. So either full hands, both hands up on the hips, one hand over the hips, or even twisting your body so it creates that angle, even if you have to bend your knees to get that shot. All right? Does that make sense? Because you are all going to be doing all of this, FYI. Okay, and then the last few ones are, again, if you want to pose someone that is sitting on the floor or sitting here perhaps, how would you pose them? Either not cross legs or anything that is flattering, okay? We want to make sure that we add in motion to the photos, we add in a height towards the photos. As you can see, the photo is taken from the top, right? It's not taken from the bottom, it's taken from the top, so she kind of looks more leaner as well. And another couple of poses as well. If you were to sit, how would you choose to pose yourself? You're not going to sit. This is so not ladylike to sit, unless if you were posing for some sort of fashion outfit. No, of course, you either stretch out that leg, pop that hip over there, and just make it seem more fluid. You know, that's how you would pose. Again, cross your legs if you must. Figure out which is your best asset or your best side to your photography. And always try to show that in front. Gina, look at you already posing. Should I take a photo of you? Right there. That's how it is. So always figure out what you need to do best. Because there is not much lighting currently here, I'm just going to quickly run through what the lighting of the day is. So you either have the golden hour, which is either towards sunrise or when sunrise is beginning and towards sunset. These are the best time to take photo because it kind of glistens on your skin, gives you that warmer photos, you know, it makes you look good in general. So that's where a lot of people take photos during the golden hour. If not, there is the midday photo, which we try as much as possible to avoid it because it's either too harsh light, but if you're a professional photographer enough, you would know how to deal with midday photos. All right? So yeah, this is just in the rule general. Take it either during morning, which is around, a good sunrise is around 7 to 8 here. And then right now with the hours, sunset right now would be the best time to take photos outdoors, okay? So if any of you ladies are just gonna pop out and take photos outside or indoors, please consider now considering using now as the great time to take photos outside. So that's why I meant by having the lights either behind you would be great during sunset or sunrise, and either using a one light motion through the window. All of this is during the golden hour, and that's the reason why it gives you a more softer light, a more diffuse light, less harsh, and makes the photo really pretty. Okay? Can I quickly ask you, now that you've seen that the lighting is coming from the right-hand side of the model, where do you think the light is on this model? Okay, so a lot of you ladies are saying front-facing, correct? A lot of you, some of you are saying on top, rather, right? Okay, so the answer is it's actually coming from the top left. How can you find out where the lighting is in a photo? if you want to zoom in to the person's eye, you can see where the catch lights are. That's the trick of knowing where the light source is. So if in case you're curious to know, oh, this is a really good photo, but I don't know where the light is coming from, just zoom in the photo, see where that catch light is in her eyes, and you know it's either in the front or the side. You know, that's how the photo has been taken. So ladies, this would end the, I hope you've learned all of the shooting tips today, because you are gonna be applying it right now, or if not, after the panel discussion, and I would love for you to share your photos with me. So as much as time can allow, we could review them after the panel discussions. Because again, we're not looking into editing the photos at the moment, because there are editing apps, as you see, that can edit the photo, but now you've got Instagram, Facebook, and your in-camera app can do pretty much the same, where you're adjusting the brightness, you're adjusting the contrast, and all of that in-app. So if you lovely ladies would like to share your photos with me, I have placed my business cards on the table that you can send across your photos. Again, we're not focusing on clarity at this moment. We're focusing on how well you understood the light, how well you understood your angles, and how well you understood posing at the moment. So these are 3 key things that I'm looking into your photo: angles, light, and posing. Okay? So now we'll have the panel discussion, of course, and I will see your photos then afterwards, and we'll review them together, okay? As much as the time allows. So I'm sorry if I can't do all 50 or 80 of you ladies who have been present right now. But thank you, and thank you. I will see you after the panel discussion, right?
Everybody give it up for Elaine, who has so beautifully taught us how to take a picture. I hope you ladies were taking note so that we can share this with our significant others, because they will be the ones taking the pictures of us. We just want to say hi to everyone at home, streaming in live from either Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. We hope you guys are having as much fun as we are right here. And if tomorrow you're not able to be here live with us for our interactive workshop, remember ladies, you can tune in live on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. So we will be moving on to our live panel discussions, where we will be talking about stereotypes and what stereotypes are still there. We've got our amazing panel that will be joining us, but we'll give you ladies a few minutes just to get ready and get sorted before we move on to our panel discussions, and we'll see you in 30 seconds. one more chocolate to give away, and which means I've got one more question. Okay, my question before we get into our hashtag Beyond Beauty bench panel discussions with our amazing ladies is, there are 7 wonders of the world. Now remember, the first person to shout out the correct answer gets the chocolate. There are 7 wonders of the world. And there are a few of them that are created by women. How many wonders of the world are created by women? Many. I'm looking for a number between 1 and 7. Guess, shout out your best guess. It should be 5. 2 right over here. Yes, women have created 2 of the world's natural wonders. One of them actually being the hanging tower gardens in Babylon. Thank you. I said towers. It's actually the gardens. Of course, women are gardens, green, beautiful. But on that beautiful note, please help me welcome our beautiful speakers for our Beyond Beauty bench discussions. Please help me welcome Dr. Shireen Khan, our laser and cosmetic dentist, to our panel. Please help me welcome Gina Dillian, chairperson and woman of the chairperson of Women Entrepreneurs in Abu Dhabi and Creative Thinking. Come on up. Give her a round of applause, everyone. We've got Shahida Binda, our blogger, known as Super Lady and member of Girls Gone International in our beautiful pink. And last but not least, we have Maria Fisher, president of the diplomatic group of spouses of ambassadors and wife of the German ambassador. Please put your hands together. She joins us on the panel. Ladies, it is so lovely to have you here, and we're so excited to discuss this because this is quite an interesting topic, and it can, kind of take any direction. But our topic of conversation today is stereotypes. We're facing stereotypes. So, Dr. Shireen Khan, I'm going to start with you. Now, you're a doctor and you work in the medical field. I want to know, are there any stereotypes still facing women? Do people assume that doctors are supposed to be men? Are they surprised when they see you? What challenges have you faced?
I think the stereotypes that we face in healthcare are similar to stereotypes in any workplace. Yes, people do have a preconceived notion about women at work, and it's no different in healthcare. If you're going to specifically talk about healthcare, yes, they might sometimes prefer a male doctor for certain procedures, but that's really not the end of it. Women in healthcare face the same issues that women would face in corporate world. We want to grow. We want to grow as women. We want to grow as leaders.
I think they just have
Oh. Is it audible now?
Is it better? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to miss all that. Okay, so I was talking about the stereotypes women face in the healthcare environment. Women have been facing stereotypes in the workplace since we entered this arena. Yes, sometimes patients will prefer a male doctor for certain procedures, but really, we have to move forward. This is all about a skill set. The skill set of a doctor really can't be defined by her gender.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I think that, like you've said, I think we're kind of slowly overcoming all the stereotypes when it comes to workplaces. Now, that leads me on to you, Gina. You work with a lot of creative thinking and in a creative thinking group. Could you tell us more about that and let me know if there's any stereotypes regarding men being more creative or females being more creative?
Can you hear me? No?
I think it's
Can we turn our mic up?
It's better. Maybe they're turning
It's
me
better,
up.
yeah.
Okay. So I think first of all, what we need to understand is we need to understand the definition of creativity. How many of you understand what the definition of creativity is? No? Up, up. Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Ladies, can you hear me? Okay, good. So the definition of creativity is the generation of new ideas, okay? It's things that are unique, haven't been done before. Now, there's a lot of studies out there that show that men are actually more creative than women, but that's not true. Women excel at idea generation, while men excel at the implementation of those ideas, okay? So there's a big difference there. One of the reasons, I believe what the stereotype kind of leans towards, is that women do not have those masculine traits that men have. We don't take those ideas and run with them, whereas men will. You know, what we do is we call our girlfriends and say, hey, Nancy, I got a great idea. You want to hear it? And Nancy says, yeah, I want to hear your idea. And then she says, well, but Gina, I think that's been done before. And it's like, oh, no, Nancy, this is a great idea. You see, so what we do is we sabotage ourselves before we could take it and run with it. Whereas men, on the other hand, will take something and they will run with it like it's the best thing since sliced bread, okay? But we all know that our grandmothers were the mother of invention. Now, I don't know about your grandmother, but my grandmother had 100 ways to use a plastic bag, all right? And that's what idea generation is all about. Now, what these studies are showing us is that creativity is one of the most promising and most resourceful traits or skills for the future. And as women, what we need to do is we need to own that, all right? We come up with all kinds of unique and resourceful ways to do things, but we just need to be able to have the power and the voice to be able to move forward with that and to implement it as well as the men do. Okay.
Wow, yeah, give a round of applause. That's actually amazing. I never actually thought of creativity like that, you know, idea generating. That's actually really good. So that leads me on to Shahida. You are a blogger known as Super Lady. Now, we know that there's lots of stereotypes that go along with women and mothers having to be super and having to be able to do it all. What is the stereotype that you feel regarding career and being a mother?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shahida, and my blog is Super Lady. It actually came about from my kids because as a mother, I had to be a role model to my kids. And they got so used to seeing me doing a million things that my daughter started calling me Super Lady. And that's where my blog started. And my message to women, to the world, is that we can do it all. But before I want to get into the stereotype, I just want us to take a moment of silence, because I feel like there's so much of power in silence. And we've really journeyed on from a tremendous challenge. We've come so far through this pandemic. And it has been difficult for so many parents, especially mothers, having to maintain their careers and at the same time make sure that their children are educated and well taken care of. So let's just take a moment to just give silence to ourselves and to live in this gratitude and to be thankful that we are here today and that this is possible. Okay, thank you very much. I think it's so important whenever we start discussions to create a positive energy, and that is my message. That is who I am. That is what I stand for. And the stereotype that I want to address today is being a working mother. I came to Abu Dhabi 20 years ago, and I was just that. I was just a mother. I didn't have any degrees. I didn't have any accolades. I couldn't drive. I wasn't well-traveled. I didn't know the world. But I wanted to change that. I wanted to change the cycle for my daughter. And so I worked very hard by setting goals for myself, by getting to know who I am. And today I have 2 degrees. I've traveled the world. I've been on multiple planes. I've done it all because I believed in myself. So this stereotype that we face, being a working mother, what is it? What does society expect from us as mothers? And just as Tuesday said earlier, this has been going on for centuries. It's not a new trend, but yet in so many communities and cultures, it is a stigma. We in Abu Dhabi, we in the UAE, where everything is possible. But in countries like India and Sri Lanka, Ethiopia and Africa, where I am from, It's a stigma for a mother to leave her children and to pursue a career. Why do I need to double life? If I do stuff for myself, who is going to take care of my children? If my children need me, if my children stray, is it my fault? And studies prove that 2/3 of the responsibility, unfortunately, falls on our mothers. So what can we do about it? How can we change the stigma? We can change the stigma if we start with ourselves. And just as Gandhi said, we have to become the change that we want to see in this world. We have to give back to our community. When we educate ourselves, not just by going to university, but being part of community events like this, by being part of a learning environment, we take that education and we instill it back into our children and into our communities. And we can see the changes, and the stigma of being a working mother can become part of the past. Because it is possible. It is possible to work, and it is possible to be a full-time mother. And I know that during the pandemic, it has been a challenging time. In fact, I am a teacher, and so many parents have started saying to me, I really admire you as a teacher. It's not easy. I tried to do your job. How can you be a mother and a teacher at home? It's challenging. And all of us are in different industries, and we have different motivations for wanting to be working mothers. So my message to you today is that it is possible, and it can start with you, and you can change the cycle, and being a working mother can become that stigma. It can become a thing of the past, because we can evolve and we can reinvent, and we can teach the future generation that these stigmas are no longer existing in the future, because we need to change. We've got stories that we can take with us, but we need to use those stories to take it into the future and motivate the future generation about where we've come from, so that we can help them prosper and flourish in the future. Thank you very much.
Please give Jada a round of applause. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And talking about mothers, this leads me on to the stereotypes regarding even the word spouses. You know, there's almost a stereotype associated with that. Now, Maria Fisher, you're the president of the diplomatic group of spouses of ambassadors. Is there any stereotype regarding the spouses of ambassadors, and any stereotype put on those women?
There are many, and depends upon what country you come from. There are more or less. Good afternoon, everyone. I have worked since I got married with the family office of the German Foreign Ministry, because there were stereotypes when I began, and there were even more stereotypes as a foreigner being married to a German diplomat. And so one of the things you have to start doing is integrate yourself, learn the language. And there's one thing that has always amazed me, is that people say, setting roots somewhere. That really doesn't exist with a diplomatic life. You're a potted plant, and you take your life with you from spot to spot, and you place it in the best place possible. So I consider myself a little bit of a potted plant wherever I go, and I make sure I get the best light. Then there's that thing about we don't do anything or we stay behind. And I think, as you were mentioning it, there are many things that we have to do, and we have to do without questioning, because our children need it, but we don't want our kids to be worried about it. So we have to feel safe and secure in our decisions, no matter where we are. It could be a very easy and wonderful place to live like the UAE. It can be a very difficult country where, medical attention is not the best, or where the typical things, water and food, don't regularly arrive, and you have to bring in everything from abroad. So depending upon where you are, you make the most of it. As an ambassador's wife, people think, oh, and it's not at all like that. It's often quite lonely, and so you have to make the most of it in order to get to know people around you, get to understand the country, and function well. Because I've done this sort of thing, I was the president of the board of the spouses in Germany for the German foreign ministry. There are things that we try to help our spouses. So when they go abroad to a country, oftentimes we can't get a permission to work. So we do a lot of volunteer work. And when they start a project, and then sometimes it's a wonderful idea, when they leave, sometimes the project disappears, which is a shame. So back home we said, so we'll have a yearly competition, and everybody can submit their projects, and we will have a big fat ball, and we will raise funds, and that country gets the project, and we continue to do so. And so those people that were there want to continue it, and those that come to it want to continue it as well, you know, so it helps a lot of people. And I think it's just going somewhere, presenting yourself. We all have our degrees and we all have our experience. And one thing I learned from the beginning is always get a business card, because you are someone. No matter what, even if you're just starting, you have an address, you have those basic things that you can put on your business card, and then offer your services. Most times you will do it for free. It's strange when you say, I'm doing this in a country. People will really, oh, can I talk to you about it? Can I discuss it? There's a stigma, I think, about volunteer work, that it's not valued as much. So a couple of times I said, yeah, well, I do this on a volunteer basis. And they said, oh, you know, you get it for free, come on. You know, so those are some of the stereotypes. But I think the best way is feel confident in yourself, present yourself. You have a name, you have a place, you have a roof over your head. Those are the two basic things that a card requires, and you start molding yourself as you go along. So in every posting that I've gone to, I guess I could call myself a chameleon of sorts. I've taught Spanish as a foreign language. I've worked in business, in a business marketing scene. I set up my own business in fashion. I went into that field as well. I have been heading groups of various things, and each time what I used to think was insurmountable, oh, I did that already, you know, I can do it again. So that's how it is. And so I think you just have to evolve and continue to grab the knowledge that you acquire, and cherish the people that you meet, because they are the ones that will help you and will carry you with all the knowledge that you will have for the next place you go to.
I love that. Please give it up. That was beautiful. You are someone, right? Get a business card, because you always think you need so many credentials. You need something behind your name. It's like, just take the step and let everything fall into place. Believe in yourself and trust that that will happen, because once you start speaking, it just kind of all falls into place. But we as women sometimes tend to overthink things and think that we're not good enough, and then call our friend, tell her it's a good idea, and she says, oh, it's been done before, and then and then a man picks it up. So before we wrap up, ladies, I want to know one little takeaway that you can maybe share with our ladies, maybe one or two sentences that you can just leave us with, a little nugget of wisdom as we celebrate the day before International Women's Day, that we can really just take and go. And Doctor, we'll start with you.
Well, I would like to say is the glass ceiling hasn't shattered yet. We still have a lot of work to do, and we have to just keep looking forward. The message I'm getting from all of you is believe in yourself. No matter what anyone is telling you around you, they call it a man's world, and we need to get past that. It is still called a man's world, and we are still navigating ourselves into it. And the day we stop calling it a man's world is the day we would be successful with all our efforts. Just keep believing in yourself and shatter that glass ceiling.
That glass ceiling hasn't shattered yet. I love that. Okay, Gina.
Okay, so I would like to share a little exercise that I do. It's called free writing, okay? So, and I teach. Can you hear
I
me?
think it's a little low.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, maybe so. Thank you. Okay, so what I would like to do is share a little exercise that I use to help you with your blocked energy, your creativity. Now, I teach entrepreneurship, innovation, critical creative thinking, and one of the things that I always start my classes out with is a free writing exercise. So anytime you're having a bad day or you feel as though you've got this blocked energy in your head and thinking isn't coming clearly to you, you sit down with a blank piece of paper and you just start writing. And you just write everything that comes into your head. And if you do that for just about 3 minutes, you'll find that you have released all of that and that block is gone. Okay? That allows you to, to be able to be open to new ideas. It allows you to get over those obstacles, in the mornings whenever you're having a bad day and you're running off to work or whatever and things aren't working right. This is a great exercise to use.
Hello, everyone, again. For me, I'm going to go back to the slogan, Beyond is Beauty. Beyond Beauty. And I think a lot of us stand for that. And we all have journeys and stories. And so my message is just, and this is so personal to me, is that not a lot of people really think about time. And if we think about 100 years ago, when women were fighting and standing up for our rights, and today we have the opportunity to live in their power. But do we live in our own power? And I'm telling my friends constantly, live in your power. And what does that mean? When you live in your power, everything is important. Time becomes precious. We don't trade time for money. We don't trade time for unnecessary interactions, unnecessary things. We don't waste time. So my message is, let us live our lives the best possible way by valuing our time, by using our time to grow, to shine, to be the best version of ourselves. And I can tell you now, you don't know yourself. I don't know myself. I came to Abu Dhabi 20 years ago with a baby on my side, trying to figure out who am I, and I'm still on that journey. I think sometimes I know myself, but then I surprise myself. And this is an indication that I don't know myself. So I don't think that in one lifetime you will even get to know who you are. So if you're trying to figure out your husband, let me give you a message. Start with yourself. And when you start figuring out who you are, everything is going to fall into place and life is just going to seem so much better.
Thank you so much. I love that. Live in your power.
So I think you have all said most of the things that I have at some point been able to embrace. There are two things that I have told my children. One that I learned actually from the Dalai Lama, and that was that he's thankful for the people who show him that he hasn't reached the limits of his patience. Because by dealing with very difficult people, you realize, whoa, I have been able to deal with this person or this situation, and I can actually overcome it. So we should be thankful for those people that make life difficult for us, because they teach us to be innovative. They teach us that our patience is not run out, and they teach us that we can go on even if we don't get what we originally planned for. That's one. And the other one is what I always said to my children when they said, oh, Mom, I'll never get the grades that this school requires of me in order to, get in. And I always say to them, what's the worst thing that they can say to you? No, right? So always go for the top, and then if it doesn't work out, work your way down. Never just say, it's not going to work out, and start in the middle or at the bottom. Always go for the top, and then you will be surprised. And sometimes because you say that, you actually work even harder, and you get exactly what you wanted. So those are my two little bits of some things that I can pass forward.
Please give it up for our beautiful panel, our hashtag Beyond Beauty Bench discussion. Thank you so much, lady. I'm now going to ask Dr. Shireen to please hand out our tokens of love to our beautiful ladies. Our chair, I think it's the flowers. Thank you, ladies, so much. Let's give them one more round of applause as we give our token of love to Gina, to Shahida, and to Maria Fisher. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us here today. And we will be moving on to Elaine coming on stage, because we're going to be looking at our photos.
I'm sorry. It was wonderful meeting you.
Okay, Miss Gina, we have a very special token of appreciation that will be passed on to you. Thank you so much for joining us, our chairperson of Women Entrepreneurs, Abu Dhabi. Thank you so much, Dr. Shireen Khan. Thank you. Let's make sure that it's propped up nice and beautifully. Let's get a picture. Ladies, you want to come all together and let's get one picture. And of course, a token of love for you, Doctor, right over here. Okay, I'm propping this up. We got to get it up for the picture. There we go. Okay, ladies, come on in. Give one picture. Okay, our beautiful ladies. Got a very special gift as well for Maria Fisher. Thank you so much. Dr. Shireen, if you're able to hand this over to Maria Fisher, a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much. Ladies, while they take a photo, if you haven't already, your best picture to Elaine, who did our photo workshop. We're going to be showcasing our pictures now. So send WhatsApp your picture through to Elaine, because we'll be doing a beautiful showcase of everybody's picture while we take a photo with our ladies. Last picture, Dr. Shireen Khan is going to hand Shahida a token of appreciation as well. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for our beautiful ladies and our hashtag Beyond the Beauty Bench discussion. Ladies, if you haven't already, make sure that you WhatsApp your pictures through to Elaine. We're going to be doing a beautiful showcase. Are you getting me one of the birds? Should I go to one higher? I'm trying to take notes. Is it portrait mode? Make sure I'm fit. Okay, well done, ladies. Thank you so much. And remember, if you've taken any exciting pictures here with us today, make sure to tag them Burjeel Reem so we can all share in the fun that you've had today. we've decided not to showcase our pictures, but take an actual picture of everyone here. So once we're done taking pictures here, all of you beautiful ladies can come on up to our hashtag Beyond Beauty platform so we can take a beautiful group picture of everyone. Let's give one more round of applause to our beautiful panel. Thank you so much for joining us today. I absolutely loved speaking to you as we shatter the glass ceiling and really go for gold as women all together. Come on up to the platform, ladies. Make your way up.
So how long have you been in the UAE now? Everyone can hear my question.
Okay, ladies, we have our lighting. We have you beautiful ladies here. Now remember everything, our angle,